11:45.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, Aviva.
Hi.
How are you?
Okay.
I'm waiting for 11:25 to open, but you're all there.
Yeah, I just went in a little bit earlier.
Yeah. Hi, Sofiko. Hi,
Hi,
Eka.
how are you?
Nice to see you. Yeah, long time no see. Wow. It has.
But Dikla is not here. Dikla is not here.
Okay, so let me contact her. Do you have other than her email?
No, I only have her email.
Okay, so let me write her.
Actually, both Dikla and Yara are speaking from two separate computers.
Okay, no problem. But let's in the meantime, before let's check. Sofiko, Eka, you have a 12-minute representation, and you're allowed 10 minutes. So this will take probably from the questions, and I'm sure that we can take more time afterwards. And so you want me to show the video from my computer? This
Yeah,
is how you want. Okay, so you're not going to talk. You're only going to talk on the questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. This is to make it clear. And what about Hagar?
Hagar is here with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, can
And
you try
here-
sharing the screen?
And also Ina just participate.
Okay, so I'm just going to make
Ina.
you co-host everyone. So it's
Good
Rina.
morning. Good morning.
So
Here is Ina also.
okay, so I'm going to make you all co-hosts. And Hagar, you're a co-host.
So we can begin among ourselves. It's enough, isn't it?
No, we need the audiences. We have to start at 11.
We are the audience, aren't we?
No. Okay,
Well,
so
you're optimistic. I'm happy.
let me also hear.
We are so impatient to start.
No, would you like me to give you co-host permission, Sofiko? Or you don't need that since you're not sharing?
I'm here, yeah.
Okay, so let me just make sure your video is on. You're going to be number 2. Hagar is going to be number 1.
My video was off, and now it's on.
Yeah. Okay. I'm saying, do you need co-host permission or you don't need that since you're showing the video?
We don't need because at the entrance, your colleague, Mrs. Aviva, let us switch on our videos so we can do it.
No, okay, so I'm going to just make you make the probably Sofika co-host just in case.
So you have the video, right?
Yeah, I have the video. I'm going to show it but they're number 2. Hagar is number 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Hi to everyone. Sorry, Dikla is joining.
Hi.
Okay.
Hi, Dikla.
Hi.
Hi. Do you want to try sharing the screen just to make sure that there's no problem, Hagar or Dikla?
But it's okay. I didn't.
I'm saying, can you try sharing the screen with your presentation?
Can I try and share it?
Talking together. What did he say?
You can share your screen.
Who's going to share the screen?
I think
would
both
share.
Yara and Dikla are
We
speaking.
want me already to share the screen.
Yeah, I just want to try that, there are no technical or any issues with that. Okay, great, excellent. And Declare, you're going to share as well?
I will share first.
Yeah, I share it to both of us.
Okay. Let's try.
And everybody has given permission to record.
You need to stop. You need to stop sharing, Hagar, so Declare can try. Can you stop sharing, Hagar, please?
Please stop sharing.
Stop sharing. Sorry.
Yeah. Stop sharing so we can. Declare, can you try, please?
Yeah.
I need to have permission to share. I don't have right now.
You are.
Wait, maybe again.
Gili?
I'm not given host.
Yeah. I'm just looking. Yeah, okay. I'm seeing your name is Gili, I'm saying.
No, Yara.
You're Esther?
No, I'm Yara.
Yara, okay. I'm just looking, I don't see your, oh, here. Your
Declan, Yara are in the end, yes? They're the third presentation.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, now
So
I
you all, and can you share the screen? Yeah, let's try that you share the screen just to make sure we don't have any technical issues.
That's good.
Excellent,
Okay.
excellent. So yeah, the session is recorded. Yeah, and you can all record it if you like as well.
Okay, so I stop sharing.
Okay, we're gonna start in 4 minutes, and Aviva will start. So we have just 4 minutes if you like. And let's wait, Hagar, for the participants, for more participants to come.
We've counted.
Oh, you see?
I promised Ina that we'll have at least 5 of them, which is 5 of us.
That's for sure. No, but this really
You have
actually,
3
we
times
have
that.
a lot of, no, there are a lot of people who really are participating today, so you won't have.
Okay.
Now, we're standing at 17 now, so let's take 18 now going up. See, because now they're joining. It's 11:35, so everyone's joining now.
And I should mention Ina Kremensky too, right, Hagar?
Yes.
Of course.
She's not here?
She
No.
is.
Now I see her. Okay. Hi, Ina.
Can you switch the windows that she will be next to me? I'm joking. Ina, I need.
What do you need? It's okay. What kind of in not?
Eli. I just had to tell my son to be quiet. Who just woke up.
Are we allowed to group more than 20?
More than 30.
Yeah, so
30,
maybe we
yeah.
can cancel the this
Going
session.
up.
It's too much.
No, what's so much? We had in our conference, we had 3,028 participants back in March. Okay, so I see that more people are coming in. I just want to ask the participants to write their names in English, please. If you can just, you have next to your name, a rename, because this is international and it would be really for everyone so they can see your name. Just rewrite them in English or rename yourself, please. I think we should start.
Okay, we should start,
Aviva?
right? Yes, hi. Good morning, everybody, or good night, or good afternoon, good evening, I don't know. Welcome to this session called Student Teachers Professional Development Through Narrative and Reflective Writing. We are going to have 3 presentations. I'd like you to please mute yourselves, everybody, except for the next speaker. We will have questions in chat, and we will have all the questions in the end of this session. So that should start at around 12:05, 12:07. We'll have about 5 to 7 minutes for questions for the three presentations together. And I will let the speaker know a minute or so, or 2 minutes or so before the end of the presentation, how much time they have left. And we can start. So our first speaker is Dr. Hagar Gal, together with Dr. Ina Kremensky from the David Yellin Academic College in Jerusalem, Israel. And their talk is called Academic Self-Research as Part of M-Teach Studies. So go ahead.
Thank you. So good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I'm too nervous, so I hope I will find out some words in English. That's what the PowerPoint for that. So we would like to introduce the academic writing through a course named Implementing of Research into Instruction, where when I say we, means Dr. Ina Kremenitsky and myself. This course is one of the courses in the Master of Teaching program in our college, and it has twofold goals. The first one is raising teachers' awareness of how they teach and what their pupils learn. And the other is enhancing their academic writing. That's where we group together today. These goals suggested the student teachers the role of researchers of their own instruction, and also documenting their metacognitive learning and teaching. Also reporting on their systematic evidence-based practice, all these three through academic writing. We had a group of various students, came from various disciplines: biology, mathematics, history, language, and so on. And each one of the students had to conduct a self-research, answering the same 4 research questions, but each one has to apply the questions to the special topic he or she would teach in a certain time. The first question was, what did I plan to teach? I will talk about it later. And when I say I plan to teach, means concerning a specific concept from this discipline in a certain time. The other one was, what did I actually teach? And what did my pupils hear during my instruction? And finally, what did I understand concerning this concept? Okay, so we have to remember these 4 questions. I would say shortly that the first and the second questions were studied qualitatively. The first one through the lesson plan of the students, and just figure out how, when you read your own or others' lesson plan, how do you figure out what did I really plan to teach? Not what is written as goals, but in the subtext, what do you see? What did I really, what kind of examples did I take? What things did I stress, and so on? And this you have to study qualitatively. The second was, what did I actually teach? When they recorded the one lesson they taught, and again, they had to figure out what did I really say in this lesson. The third and the fourth question was studied both qualitatively and quantitatively, mainly quantitatively, when they provided questionnaires to their pupils. The first one, for the third question, was in the end of this specific lesson, providing them words and sentences and so on to see what did they hear. And in the next lesson, sometimes further, they provided a understanding questionnaire, which first they had to define what was it to understand a certain concept. Okay. The students were guided by us, Ina and myself, and our role was one of consultants, supervisors, and critical friends. It's very important to say that the students acted as a professional learning community, really, not just the words. And the process of writing the research lasted along the whole year. Here you can see, we use the Moodle platform. It's in Hebrew. You will see the translation in a minute. But you see that these are the assignments of the various chapters or other assignments during the whole year, beginning in November. So it's almost the beginning of the year, ending in the end of the year. And almost each of the assignments had 2 cycles. The first one, which we commented on, and then the second one in 2 or 3 months later, which they had to do to rewrite it, to react to our comments and say. So the first one was the introduction and the literature review. Then the tools of the hearing test, they had to provide a test, a questionnaire. How they will find out what the students heard. And then the analysis of some lesson plan, not the lesson plan that they used in the study, just to see how do you figure out from the lesson plan what were what was the essence. Then another assignment was to define the operational variables of both the third and the fourth questions. The methodology chapter. Then you see we get to the second cycle about January or something like January, the second cycle of the introduction of literature review, the methodological chapter again, and then about March, the finding of the first and the second questions, the finding of the third and the fourth questions, and then the whole chapter and the final report. Again, first cycle, second cycle, final one. So these are the stages. The students' difficulties were detected in various chapters. First was the literature review. We could see that they were saying some general sayings like, well, generally teachers get some difficulties, but they didn't refer to any bibliography or some study. They also had difficulties in summing relevant reported studies that, for example, they gave number of participants, which is not really relevant to their own study. Also, they gave a list of summaries of the studies. They could not integrate them. He said that and she said that and so on, but if there was a similar ideas, they were unable at this stage to integrate them.
Hagar, 2 minutes.
Oh, great. Okay, we are in the first chapter. Okay, and of course the incorrect formal citing. You can see here an example of the first submission of introduction. You can see Ina and myself remarks. We both read each of the assignments and gave a lot of remarks. I'll just show the difficulties in methodology. They couldn't distinguish between population and sample. They were unable or hardly could write a study design. I'm trying to see. Let's go to the findings, difficulties. It was hard for the students to analyze the qualitative data, especially of the first question, which is really difficult to analyze. To define the categories, how do you define what you really meant to teach?
1 minute, okay?
Yeah, they couldn't stick to pure data. What the pure data, I mean, what is written in the lesson plan exactly, or what exactly was in the recording. They said, I meant to, but what you meant to is not a pure data. I will skip, you can see the later. In the discussion chapter, well, let me say in 20 seconds, let me know.
You have
9, okay. So summing up, the results of this study, of their study and our own study, which you will be able to read, I'll show in the last one, the academic writing forced rigorous thinking and analyzing the students' teachers' instruction and better equip them as future educators who critically reflect on their practice and confronting student teachers with potential gaps. It's very important, potential gaps from the first to the second to third questions during their own instruction was a valuable practice for deepening their pedagogical understanding and awareness, as well as strengthening the interconnection between theory and practice. And if you want to read some more, we have a paper about this, so you can get. Thank you very much for your attending.
excellent.
Picture the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aga. Can you stop sharing the screen in the
Yes,
meantime?
I
Thank
will.
you.
Thank you. So we will now have our, thank you, super interesting, nice talk. And the English was fine. I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
But the second presentation, we have 3 people. Professor Sofiko Lozhkanidze, Professor Ekat Gavashvili, and Marika Kirvalidze from Ilia State University in Tbilisi, Georgia. Tbilisi or Tbilisi?
Now.
It's
Okay.
Tbilisi.
Okay, I think we should start. Should I play the video?
And, there you go.
Okay.
We're glad to be
Do you
here
hear?
and present at the conference. Hello, dear colleagues. We are very glad to be here and present at the conference. We would like to thank the organizers to make this conference happen despite the pandemic situation in the world. Today we will present the research, reflective writing for pre-service students' professional development, Georgian case. The authors of the presentation are my colleagues from Ilia State University, Ekat Gavashvili, she is invited professor, Marika Kirvalidze, she is PhD student and invited lecturer, and me, Sofiko Lozhkanidze, I am professor of education sciences, head of School of Education. The presented study is based on the formative assessment guidelines created within the formative assessment, the framework of assessment tools for new learning environment in higher education, ASSET Erasmus+. Analysis of international studies such as PISA and PIRLS in Georgia showed that school students demonstrate low academic achievement in literacy, while TALIS revealed that teachers evaluate their pedagogical practice positively, which may be indicator of the fact that they see no connection between students' undesirable achievements and their own practice, which may in its turn be connected with the lack of adequate self-assessment and efficient reflective skills. In response to these challenges, The aim of the present study is to enhance pre-service student self and peer evaluation, reflective communication and professional skills through journal writing, which will enable them to transfer these skills into their future professional practice. The following research questions were formulated according to the study aim. What is the level of reflective communication and professional skills in students, and how the use of personal and dialogic reflective journal writing will improve student teachers' reflective communication and professional skills? The target group was chosen from Teacher Preparation University program. The total of 80 students within the course School Practice, which summarizes the whole program and is aimed at enabling student teachers to apply theoretical knowledge gained through psychology, pedagogy, and methodology courses, and plan and conduct lessons which will help them gain confidence and the necessary skills defined by the teacher professional standards. Now, about theoretical aspects of this study will continue my colleague Eka Travashvili. Eka, please.
Thank you. The purpose of reflective writing is to help student teachers learn from a particular practical experience and to make connections between what they are taught in theory and what they need to do in practice. Reflective practice is defined as a cognitive process accompanied by a set of attitudes in which teachers systematically collect data about their practice and, while engaging in dialogue with others, use the data to make informed decisions about their practice, both inside and outside the classroom. Research methodology used in the given study is based on action research principles. In order to evaluate the efficiency of the study interventions, we decided to use quasi-experiment. Only one part of the students involved in the research participated in reflective journal writing throughout the semester. The following qualitative and quantitative methods were used within the framework of action research. Pre-questionnaire was employed for identifying the level of reflective, written communication and professional skills involving both experimental and control groups. Pre-questionnaire was developed based on Gibbs' reflective cycle. Considering the results of the pre-questionnaire, the interventions with the tool of personal and dialogic reflective journal writing were planned and conducted with the experimental group. The analysis of the student journal entries was applied for observing the dynamic of the target skills development. At the end of the interventions, the post-questionnaire was used with the aim of comparing the student teachers' mean scores before and after the interventions. We will present the main findings in two stages: the stage of the problem identification and the stage of the interventions. First, we will talk about the stage of the problem identification. The analysis of the results of the pre-questionnaire, which was based on self-evaluation, revealed that the students had difficulty with reflecting on the following aspects of the observed and conducted lessons: anticipating the problems and finding solutions to them, professional communication with their colleagues and peer coaching, communicating ideas to their colleagues clearly in written form on professional issues, applying theoretical knowledge to practice. Now we will be focusing on the interventions stage. Based on the problems identified by the results of the pre-questionnaires, we decided to plan interventions with the aim of improving students' reflective communication and professional skills. The experimental group was offered the guidelines on how to keep personal and dialogic journals. Two platforms for journal writing were chosen by the student teachers themselves, Google Drive and Padlet. The students were paired for peer observation and collaboration as reflective partners. For the first 3 weeks, the journal had a dialogic form. form with the school practice supervisor and lecturer. For the next 3 weeks, the students wrote the reflections and gave feedback to their reflective partners, and the last 3 journals were kept individually. In the initial stage, we considered sharing reflections beneficial, as this might help the student teachers to look at themselves from a different perspective and improve their reflective and communication skills, which would in its turn be reflected positively on their self-assessment and teaching skills. The interventions were evaluated with the help of the post-questionnaire and the analysis of the reflective journals. The comparison of the results of the pre- and post-questionnaire showed that the self-evaluation of reflective communication and professional skills of the students involved in the interventions increased, while the evaluation of those skills in the pre- and post-questionnaires of the control group students remained almost identical. For example, in the pre-questionnaire to the question, after each lesson I try to analyze if I have achieved the goal, 54% of the students of the experimental group stated that they found it difficult to give a definite answer. Whereas in the post-questionnaire, 69% of the students chose the answer, I don't agree, which means that self-assessment of their analytical skills improved by 15% compared to the control group students' data concerning the same question. In their case, the improvement was only by 3% from 51 to 54. Another difficulty identified at the start of the interventions in terms of communication was resolved this way. Only 43% of the experimental group and 41% of the control group referred to their colleagues for discussing some professional issues and analyzing the discussion afterwards. Whereas after the intervention, 75% of the experimental group and only 51% of the control group stated that the communication with the colleagues and the analysis of the discussion helped them to clarify the professional issues. As you can see from the results, the use of dialogic reflective journals is one of the best ways of developing collaborative professional dialogue skills. With the aim of identifying the extent of the objectivity of the self-evaluation of the experimental group students, we analyzed their journals. The analysis revealed that the feedback given by the reflective partners helped the students develop their analytical written communication and professional skills stage by stage. The experimental group students evaluated the efficiency of this method. Their positive evaluations are reflected in the quotations, which you can see on the screen. The students state that their motivation increased, they managed to improve their teaching process, they identified mistakes and tried to avoid making them in the next lessons, and so on. Now I would like to give the floor to our colleague, doctoral student Marika Kevalidze, who will present the analysis of reflective journals. Please, Marika.
Thank you. The analysis of student journal entries, which was applied for observing the dynamic of the target skills, revealed that at the beginning of the interventions, the students' writings were descriptive in most cases. Implemented interventions encourage the students to go beyond descriptions and include more analysis. Their reflection demonstrated the awareness of the link between theory and practice. This was ensured by the orientation questions. Students perfected their reflective skills through the dialogue with their reflective partners and tutors, and at the same time they improved their academic writing skills. The most difficult skill to be developed is self-assessment. At the beginning of the interventions, the student teacher referred to the external factors in order to justify the unsuccessful completion of the planned activities. This was reduced gradually with their reflective partners' help. Throughout the process of reflective journal, the students started to find the reason for their drawbacks in themselves, which helps them address the problem more efficiently. We have some constraint of our research, of course. The research was carried out in a small case. Only 80 students of School of Education participate in the research, which cannot be representative of the whole student population. The answer to the questions may not objective, despite the fact that the questionnaires were anonymous. At the end, we would like to present the application of the journal entries, help the students to become more self-aware, identify the cause and effect relationship, make their self-assessment more objective, identify their weak points with an aim of finding strategies to solve them, develop critical and analytical skills, form and formulate their ideas better in written form, apply theory to practice, and so on. This was, we can present considering time limits. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Very nice presentation. Again, we will wait with questions, right? So if you have questions, please write them on chat. And we are now starting our third presentation. And the third presentation is by Dikla Wiesman-Maan and Ya'ara Hermelin-Fine from the Oranim College of Education in Israel. And their presentation is called Contribution of Narrative Writing for the Growth of Significant Educators. There you go.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dikla Wiesman-Maan. And with me is Ya'ara Hermelin-Fine. We are very happy to be here and to expose our unique model of a course that we are teaching now for 2 years. And we would like to present the contribution of narrative writing for the growth of significant educators. For the introduction, we would like to give some background, the theoretical background. The narrative approach sees storytelling as a human mental act of making meaning. According to this approach, the learning process is seen as a process of telling and retelling existing knowledge in constant dialogue with the new knowledge. Whether one of the results from the formal learning or one of the results from ongoing life experiences. When it comes to teacher training, that's what we are talking actually about, the narrative approach expands the meaning of learning and curriculum and includes the personal experiences of the learner that he or she shares in learning sessions. A little bit about the course, and you can see also some pictures that accompany the presentation. I will explain it a little bit later. The present program of the unique course for retraining students for special education that stem from the narrative approach and strive for growing significant educators. The program is based on building a reflecting group. In this group, the students reflect on their personal and group processes and content their insights to the future educational goals. This picture, what you can see is the outcomes of the meeting that we have in this course. We use very different materials and also writing and narrative writing that we will show later on. In the course, the students were given several exploration tasks about various themes: the essence of being an educator, challenges in the education system, the pupil's voice, the voice of parents, teamwork in school, and work, and more. The outcomes of this exploration about the different themes were narrative writing, drawing, singing songs, and using different materials like pictures, drawings, movies, books, and more. The core of the process was voicing the students' personal stories, which are being shaped, developed, and expanded, but while dealing with these issues. That's the picture that shows the student while doing this course. during this course. Okay. What about the findings? What did we find? Content analysis of the narrative writing reveals the process that students have undergone and includes several themes: a sense of meaning, choice, responsibility, authenticity, creativity, humility and modesty, flexibility, learning and development. We will now present examples that reflect some of those things.
Good morning, everyone. The first theme that I will present is a sense of meaning, and this is what one of the students wrote in the end of the course. Significant educational work is timeless and boundless, and therefore describes exactly my educational position today. The realization that if I want to do something meaningful in my life, one that will be right for any time and anywhere, I should be an educator. And how lucky I am that I also like to do it. A second theme that we present is choice, and this student chose a song. She wanted to add something, and she chose a song and then explained why she did it. So the song she chose is by Igal Bashan. Here the sky is mine. Here I feel like I want to live, want to be. Among the hopes and change, here the sky is mine. And she explains, I chose this song because the course legitimized me to choose my own path. With all the hardships in the system and all the problems and pressures around, my classroom is my piece of heaven. And there I will pave the way and choose the best for me and for my students. Another theme that's repeated is humility and modesty. This is by a different student. If there is anything substantial that I have learned throughout the year in this course, it is my humility. My place as a teacher is part of an entire ecosystem that includes parents, staff, children, and I am not a single character walking alone. Here you can see the picture that many times the students work in groups. So this was one of the methods we used. Here about creativity. We gave the students an opportunity to explore and experience by themselves creative ways of teaching, and this is what another student wrote. In my opinion, a teacher is a person who dares to learn, dares to ask, and dares to not know. A teacher is a person whose enthusiasm and desire for knowledge excite those around him. Take them on a wonderful journey of exploration out of true inner curiosity, without fear, even when the path is unclear. I believe that pupils should be given opportunities to play with ideas, with thoughts, with deliberation. We should be brave enough to accompany them in these processes. This was a part of the final task, and when they look back about what they did this year. I chose this picture because as soon as the task was presented to us, the word journey came to mind. I tried to think what kind of journey, what its characteristics were, and finally I chose the train. First, I thought of the passengers, who may be the pupils, those I will accompany for a shorter period, who left the train in an early stop, like the pupils that in their class they did this year's practicum. Others I will accompany for a longer period, maybe even to the final stop. However, the passengers may also be the parents, teachers, and other staff members that I will work with.
And another theme, learning and development. At first, I experienced slight antagonism to the course. There was no subject that came up which I had not previously learned in a different course, a workshop, or just independently. It frustrated me to repeat the same issues again while there is no sense of renewal. But over time, my eyes opened to humility, and I remembered that my answer to the question were not absolute. The possibility of engaging again with the
2 minutes.
to the question in education is critical in order to open my mind and develop as a person. In doing so, I went on a quiet journey with myself, listening to the words of the people, without the filters in my head and the opinions I already have on everything, and trying to listen to the words of the people from the clean and uncritical points of view. Summary. The findings shed light on the potential of narrative writing in promoting future educators' awareness and reflect the possible contribution of this course to the training of significant educators that will integrate into the education system. The fact
1 minute.
the fact that the student considered the course experience and thought how to apply it in education suggests that the course has the potential to shape the way these perceived teachers teach in the future. And another quote for final. I always came out to the lesson full of optimism, the power of my words and ideas and positive thoughts. I want all my pupils to always leave the classroom feeling good about themselves and life, that they will always think about what was in the classroom even after it's over. Like it happened in every lesson I was at. Thank you for your listening attention.
What a beautiful quote, and what an optimistic way to end this session.